I first picked up the Pixel Bud 2As over a month ago, I was genuinely surprised. I've been through the gauntlet: AirPods, Galaxy Buds, the original Pixel Bud A series, the Walmart specials, you name it. Each has their place, but after using the first Pixel Bud A series, I was ready to see what Google could level up from. Spoiler alerts, they did. Let's get one thing straight: my work environment is not your average cubicle. We're talking impact wrenches going off like gunfire, air compressors singing their never ending song as they feed equipment, reefer units keeping things cold that are going to be rolling across the country, big loud diesel trucks that would make your pavement princess cry from the desire to be a real truck. So, to put it lightly, this isn't the place for your average headphones to sit in Discord and hang out talking trash with your friends all day. Shameless plug, our Discord is live every single day. Link in the description down below. All are welcome. These headphones performed amazing, and honestly, I'm not surprised. Google nailed it this time, and they likely do in my book many times, as I'm a massive fan of the Google Pixel line of things. My last pair of earbuds, though, took a one-way dive out of my pocket instead of, living happily where they belonged, into a debris-covered pit full of decades worth of grime and ick. I needed something that could survive my diesel-covered, grime-caked hands, and these beauties definitely stepped up. They're still white, guys. Like, they clean up well. Rest in peace, by the way, to my JBLs. Your life was short-lived, and at $35, I didn't exactly expect industrial-grade durability. They weren't the only casualties either of my job. I had a pair of Galaxy Bud 3s that did an amazing job with noise canceling until they learned firsthand what it means to be left in a blouse pocket while they go through the wash cycle. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't have headphones. Regardless, these are the ones I have now, and as far as, a Pixel user is concerned, I'm not disappointed. The fit is fantastic, and I'm actually a fan of how the AirPods used to sit without those silicone tips. But that open ear design is rare in the Android world. The Pixel Bud 2As, though, feature this really nice twitched stabilization that secures them. So you go from being nice and relaxed in this orientation to turning them, and they become a little bit more difficult to just yank out. Which is great during work hours, because one twist and I'm locked on in, they're not going anywhere. Or if I want to relax a little bit more when I'm not in an environment where I'm worried that they'll come out of my head, like, fighting an oil filter the size of Texas, which isn't uncommon for me to sit there and try and adjust to get it just right and fight a headphone at the same time and lose them most of the time. It's not very pretty. These, though, I have not had any issue with at all. Also, my friends can hear me clearly as we talk in Discord. I can hear every single last insult that they threw my way. Fuck you, emoji. The Pixel Bud 2As feature 2 microphones per earbud, wind-blocking mesh covers to keep the loud outdoors a little bit more audible, and clear calling powered by Google's AI. Bluetooth super wideband for enhanced call quality on anything Pixel 8 and newer, which is a noticeable step up from the original Pixel A series that I use, which had just standard basic beamforming microphones. Hey guys, so I'm just interrupting the video real quick to talk about Pinkmoid 2. Last year we had done a Pinkmoid stream where there was like charity goal for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and then a bits and a sub goal on Twitch to do my eyebrows and my beard and whatnot. This year we're just focused on Children's Hospital, and that's it. There's nothing for bits or subs or anything like that. But if you'd like to see me look kind of like this again, anyways, pop on over. So we're going to be doing it from the 21st to the 26th. I'll come up with an answer for people on YouTube to try and participate, because I know not everybody uses Twitch or has a Twitch account. So this way you guys can, take part in the donation side of things. But we're going to be diving into that. Now, that being said, nothing stops you if you want to have it to where we start off the stream on the 21st with me dyeing my head live on stream. You absolutely can. Just head over to twitch.tv/Moity. Link will be down below, and you guys can start knocking that goal out of the water. And this could be fun. I could have Christmas photos this year with pink hair. Yeah. So also remember, I'm a mechanic, so the pink hair is definitely going to get the attention of some of those truck drivers that I work on their trucks with. Why, why do I do this to myself? Anyways, back to the video. Things did get interesting within the first couple of days, though, of having it. While I was under a semi trying to reach the most inconvenient lift point I could possibly find, I noticed that the ANC was muting the sound around me, which is really odd. I could notice it a lot more because I only have one earbud in for safety reasons when I'm at work. So I asked Moji if he could look into the Pixel Buds 2a to see if there was some type of active environmental noise protection. And turns out they do. They don't even really advertise it in this way. The first A series model to introduce noise canceling is the Pixel Bud 2a and Pro 2s. With the Silent Seal 1.5 powered by Google's Tensor A1 chip, the same processor found inside of the Pro models, you can achieve a 1.5 noise cancellation, which is pretty much equivalent to the original Pro model of Pixel Buds. But here's my gripe. The ANC is triggered by a loud impact, the horn honking on a truck, a gust of wind, my coworker yelling to me, or my own freaking voice. On the Pixel Bud Pro 2s, which are $229, you get adaptive audio and loud noise protection that you can actually turn on and off and customize. With the 2As, which are $129, they don't actually offer you the ability to do anything other than have ANC on or turn on transparency mode or turn them both off. With both of them off, though, it still does the adaptive environmental noise canceling, which means I go from hearing things just fine to feeling like I'm deaf in one ear. It's a nice feature because I've also noticed that I have less ear ringing that happens when I'm at work, but the ability to choose when it comes on and off, like I'm not working on something, so I don't need to have it immediately make me deaf, would be fantastic. It's my only major complaint for the 2As, and for $100 less, you lose the noise canceling, which is something that does matter in my chaotic environment to really decide how things work and when they work. My real world experience, typically I get about 6 hours worth of talk time, which aligns with what Google has said for the voice call feature. It drains a lot more battery than music playback, so you're going to get roughly less time than the 10 hours of music playback that is promised for the buds themselves normally. But that means that I get about 4 total charges, which is fantastic and also consistent with what Google says what Google says for 20 hours total of ANC listening experience. Compared to my Google Buds 3, the experience with the battery life was comparable. And it's, could be less, could be more. It's nothing to really get dramatic over. Now, I know that you've probably seen a lot of other reviews. I'm not a big dog in this world, but one of the nicest things that I actually noticed was the Pixel Buds 2As having a replaceable battery. You take out the T5 Torx that's underneath each one of the ears. You can see that right there. And everything just kind of slides apart. It's great because it gives the ability for you to service at least the case, which does go a long way. Sure, I'd like to see a world where the earbuds themselves are serviceable, especially because we'll get into the water resistance. It's not a fantastic, IP rating. It's pretty on par with most of the stuff that's out there. So I don't see why you can't make it to where this just unscrews and you can replace the battery. But it did come in handy. I had a situation where I had accidentally unpaired these from my Pixel 9 Pro XL, and for some reason it got locked up. I was able to pull the battery and put it back in, and everything disappeared. I was never able to repeat this experience. I'd love to show you that it had worked or what had happened, maybe report it to Google in a way that they could possibly repeat. But if I can't repeat it myself, there's nothing that I can do there. But pulling the battery provided an opportunity that I wouldn't have gotten with something like a pair of AirPods or Galaxy Buds. I had the ability to disconnect the, power from it, turn it off and on again, which was fantastic. But here's the thing. According to Sound Guys, 77 million true wireless earbuds were sold in Q2 of 2024 alone, which means in 2 to 3 years, when those batteries die, they become e-waste. I'd like to see a little bit more advancement moved forward. A lot of the times, my case isn't really what dies out. It's usually the earbud, and the case is still going strong years later. But it's a step towards meaningful resolutions to problems that can be taken under our own wing. We could uncreate our own e-waste. And as somebody that worked in the repair industry for over a decade and a half, this coming apart actually might be pretty simple for me. I've taken apart the previous model. They're probably built similarly. But you, as the average user, not necessarily going to be something that's simple. So I'd like to see more forward movement in that front. Now let's talk about water resistance. The IP54 rating means that the buds can handle light dust, a splash of water, a little bit of sweat, and some light sprays. Whereas the case itself has an IPX4, meaning the case can do some splash resistance, but realistically, neither of these are going to survive my washing machine scenario that I tend to put a lot of my headphones through, and usually is the end of my relationship with them. But let's face it, electronics and water just don't mix, and it's a challenge that honestly we shouldn't really be trying to replicate. As far as strengths are concerned, the Pixel Bud 2As are fantastic at $129 for ANC and high-level performance, where these things have been fantastic to listen to, plus the Tensor A1 chip, which is the same chip that's used in the Pro model, the live Gemini integration for hands-free if you're somebody that's into something like that. It's fantastic. The noise canceling is one of the best ones I've tried yet. The downside is that if you're looking for something like spatial audio head tracking, wireless charging, the ability to control the volume on the actual bud itself, or the ability to decide whether or not you want the active environmental noise canceling to actually be doing anything, well, you're looking at an additional $100 at $229. But for $150 or less, these are amazing. And I'm really hoping that they don't go and visit, the toaster bath in the sky via my washing machine or other means that I tend to kill these things with. They're fantastically comfortable for my day-to-day use. And honestly, I can't imagine a time where I wouldn't have them, except for the ones that I've already imagined multiple times with other headphones. Regardless, I'm rambling at this point. If you like this content, do me a favor, hit subscribe. Do you have earbuds that you prefer? Is there something that you really like to use? Have you used the Google lineup of things? Talk about it down in the comments. And again, all are always welcome in our Discord. Link is in the bottom of every single video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Don't be afraid to dive on into the Rift.